Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am still a little busy at my main job, so I invited my friend Elena again to show you an interesting part of Russian culture and life. She will show us mushroom hunting, why we do it, what difficulties we face when we do it, and mushroom cooking process. On this channel, guys, I'm showing how Russians really live an everyday life of ordinary Russian people. And where I am in the world right now, I am Russian living in Russia, in the coldest part of it, in Siberia, Irkutsk city. Irkutsk city is not really far from China, and we are only 300 kilometers away from Mongolian border. So if you're curious about this part of the globe, stay tuned.
Hello everyone and greetings from our family's dacha. It's the last day of August today, the last day of summer and also the last weekend of summer. And we're going to embrace the Russian national activity, the most favorable, the most loved Russian national activity. We're going to the woods to collect mushrooms. It's an early morning still and not quite awake yet. But you have to be really early because you have to beat other mushroom hunters. So it's essential to start early. That's the weather outside. We could have started earlier, but it was very, very foggy in the morning. You can still see a bit of a fog right now. And also my not very impressive garden. Since it was raining all day yesterday, valley boots is a must, and I really hate the idea of walking in valley boots for several kilometers in the woods. Not very comfortable, to be honest, but well, like I said, the last day of summer, the last summer weekend, we just have to do that. Let's check the temperature outside. Okay, not exactly hot, positive 10, but I think it will be much better throughout the day. Let's check out the river. Our dacha settlement is located on the banks of the Angara River, which is of course very nice. So let's have a look how Angara is today's morning. Still quite a lot of fog and lots of puddles as well. Okay, no fishermen on the river yet. The boats are still on the shore, but the water is very high. It has been very high this week because it's been raining quite a lot. By the look of the grass, it's going to be super wet in the forest. Super wet. This is going to be our breakfast before the mushroom hunting. Some pancakes, honeysuckle jam, and coffee. No, I did not make these pancakes. I just bought them frozen from the supermarket and just defrosted them. Usually when we go to collect mushrooms, we take 2 buckets with us. The red one I call realistic. The green one I call an optimistic one. Well, today we're going to take both, even though going to the woods on a Sunday morning at 10 a.m. we are almost guaranteed to find nothing. But okay, let's be optimistic. Here we are, just across the road, the forest begins. By the way, this is part of the national park, Pre-Baikalsky National Park. Russian people have been collecting mushrooms since the time immemorial. In the past, it was not just an entertaining activity, but a matter of survival, especially for those who came to Siberia and started their life here. We don't have much food offered by Siberian forest. There are nuts, some berries, and mushrooms, because the no-frost period in this part of Siberia is only 90 days. You cannot grow any fruit here, nothing like apples, pears, or even not, let alone bananas or oranges. So, yeah, mushrooms were an important part of survival in Siberian villages. The most important part of survival in Siberian forest is to know which mushrooms are eatable and which are not. This one is definitely not, by the look of it. I don't know how it's called, but just by the look of it, look at the pillar, look at the cap. It looks, well, it even looks disgusting, let alone to be eatable. So our first luck for today, we found our first slippery jack. This is definitely an eatable mushroom, and they are the most popular eatable mushrooms in this area. Look how slippery its cap is. That's why it's called slippery jack or oily mushroom or whatever. In Russian, it's just maslenok, slippery jack. Here it is. Okay, so it's going to go into an into a realistic bucket. Okay, here are more uneatable mushrooms. Well, another way to tell that mushrooms are uneatable is that nobody took them. They are very obvious, they are growing just on the path, and nobody so far has taken them. Well, you can be sure they are not eatable. And usually if they have this kind of fringe under the skirt, under the cap, and the stem is very, very thin, then definitely not eatable. Another slippery jack, a huge one. Okay, that's also going to go into a realistic bucket. Slippery jack is very different to uneatable mushrooms. You can see the spongy cap on the other side. It's like a sponge, not a fringy one like the previous mushrooms. My daughter usually hates mushroom hunting, but when she finds one, she's very happy.
Mom, I like mushrooms.
Yes, you do like mushrooms, but you hate collecting them. Okay, put it into the red bucket. Okay, look, 3 mushrooms already, and we just started our mushroom picking.
Not our...
Well, this one has rotted. There. In fact, to be honest, they say that 90% of mushrooms are eatable. The only issue is to know how to cook them. Each type of mushroom has to be cooked in its own way. So we collect only the mushrooms that we know how to cook. We don't go into an encyclopedia to find out if it's an eatable mushroom. No, it's just a generational thing. For example, you know what your grandmothers and mothers and fathers collected when they took you to the forest, and then you just do the same. And we're not adventurous enough to try something new. So we're just basically collecting whatever our ancestors have been collected in this part of Russia. It's important to know that in each part of Russia, eatable mushrooms are different. So if you're going mushroom hunting, it's better to have someone local with you. More mushrooms! More mushrooms! More slippery jacks! More slippery jacks! Where?
There,
Oh.
there, and they're little.
Oh, the little one! Look how pretty it is! A little pup. Oh.
Let's eat him.
Our daddy sometimes,
Nice. Nowadays, picking mushrooms, of course, not a part of Russian survival, but also a way to spend time in the nature and not just enjoying the surrounding beauty, but also doing something useful. Oh, look at this! Look at this! We are so lucky on such a late Sunday morning. Look, it's hiding. It's hiding. It's hiding, but it's here. Where is another one?
There is. I
Oh,
saw.
there is another one also hiding. Oh, hello, cutie. We have found you. We are going to fry you and eat you. Welly boots, the most uncomfortable shoes ever, but there is no other options in this wet grass. Oh, look, my favorite mushrooms, not by the taste, but by the look of them. Fly agarics. Oh, the witchy mushrooms. I just can't believe how pretty they are. The classic view, red cup with white spots on top. Ah, but of course, it's advisable not even to touch it. It could be very, very poisonous. We are super lucky with slippery jacks today. Look at this one. Sits so nicely. Let's cut it off. Somebody has already started eating it. It's got holes in it. Okay, quite an old one, but still, it will do. So, we have filled a realistic bucket, the red one already. It's all slippery jacks. We didn't find anything else, but still, that's quite a good luck for such a late Sunday morning. Okay, now it's time to begin filling the optimistic green bucket. Let's see how lucky we'll be. Okay, we found a new mushroom. This is a milky cap. They cannot be fried. You have to pickle them, and it's not an easy thing to do. But still, are we going to take them?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Milky caps smell absolutely amazing. It's such a mushroomy, foresty smell. You just cannot confuse it with anything else. This one is also a milky cap, but it's huge and quite an old one. We are not going to take this one. The moss on a birch tree. And some mushrooms here as well. No idea what they are. So we are not taking them. We're not taking them either. And this is moss. Starry moss. Okay, now we found a Klondike of mushrooms. Klondike of slippery jacks. Look here. And here. And here. And also here. This is a real witchy spot. These are all fly agarics. And there are so many of them. The witch hut must be somewhere here. Finally found a real treasure. In Russian we call it, can be translated as white mushroom. In English it's believed belongs to the Boletus family of mushrooms. But this is the best mushroom you can find in a Siberian forest. It's really pure protein, that's what it is. I'm going to take the honor of cutting this prince of mushrooms. Prince of mushrooms.
Or king.
Maybe a king. Oh, the best. Absolutely the best. And the best of luck for today for us.
I can't believe it, but we found another one. Another one. How lucky are we today? It's just absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Look at this.
Waiting.
So, our optimistic bucket is really a realistic one today. Quite realistic, I think. Some trees are just covered with mushrooms, but I have no idea what they are. My grandmother, for example, never collected anything like that, so neither do I. There is a Russian saying that God loves Trinity, so he sure does. Look, number 3. Number 3, which also goes into the optimistic bucket. Oh, look at that. Another beauty. Look at that. Like I said, it's pure protein. This is indeed a king or prince of mushrooms. You don't even have to boil it before frying. You just fry it as it is. And when it's fried, it tastes like bits of meat, honestly. That's why it's so valuable. The most valuable mushroom you can think of. Okay, maybe truffles are more valuable, but this one is definitely also one of the most valuable edible things that you can find in a Siberian forest. Picking mushrooms is a different kind of activity when compared, for example, with hiking or trekking. It's very meditative. Nobody's hurrying, nobody's in a rush, nobody's breaking time records or trying to reach a certain spot on the trek. No, you just watch and observe nature around you. You can enjoy the smells of the forest. You can look at all the details, at the little leaves and moss and the colors around you. It's a very, very good way to enjoy nature. La 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 la! Stop singing! Well, when in a Siberian forest, you have to be very conscious of one thing. And you should mind the Siberian master, a bear. A bear is always somewhere nearby. We have too many of them. And it's your business to scare the bear away. Well, not really to scare, but to let them know that you're here and there are a lot of you, there are many of you. That way, bear is not going to approach you, but whenever you are in the forest, you can be absolutely sure that the bear is somewhere nearby. Watching you, yes. It's not waiting to attack you, no, but differently. You don't want to get in contact with a bear, no. We finished our mushroom picking for today. Both buckets, the realistic one and the optimistic one, are full, and that was the most enjoyable part of the experience. Now ahead of us, the least enjoyable part is to process everything that we collected. It took us 2 hours to collect all these mushrooms. Now it's going to take at least an hour to process them. First, we have to deal with slippery jacks. You see, the slippery jack has a very thin film on top of its cap, and it should be peeled off. Otherwise, your mushroom is going to have a very bitter taste. So each slippery jack should be peeled. Okay, here's another one. Peel it, please. You can tell that some people are real experts in peeling slippery jacks.
Milky mushrooms should also be, well, cleaned, of course, boiled, and then pickled. And as for white mushrooms, big white mushrooms, bolituses, well, they should be chopped and boiled, and after that you can actually freeze them. You don't have to eat everything at once. You can just freeze them and then to add to your dishes later on. Some people collect enough mushrooms to last throughout the winter. Okay, these are all the mushrooms that we have collected that have been processed. They have been chopped up and boiled. These 3 bowls of mushrooms are going to go into a freezer for future cooking masterpieces. Milky mushrooms are going to be pickled, maybe. And this part is going to be fried with potatoes and onions. We don't have very advanced cooking facilities here at our dacha, so this is just a multi-cooker with fried potatoes. Now it's time to add mushrooms into the fried potatoes. It's too early.
Yes.
Now we are ready to add mushrooms to the potatoes and onions. Now mix it thoroughly. So how long will it take to finish?
10 minutes to be sure.
Okay, do you have to stir it from time to time?
I do, but I'm lazy.
Okay, it's time to try what we have cooked. It would have looked more appetizing if it was cooked in a proper frying pan, but our frying pan here is too small. So here it is, fried potato with mushrooms and onions. Well, now the disclaimer is that I don't eat mushrooms. Everyone in my family does. I don't. I like only collecting them and walking through the forest. But eating mushrooms is just absolutely not my cup of tea, but nonetheless, here we go.
So guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. Please tell us in the comment section below if there is a tradition of mushroom hunting in your country, if it's allowed to do mushroom hunting in your country. And see you next videos.